Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements. And if you'd like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below. All right, my friends, let's see. What is the energy around Gemini for the week ahead? Okay, truth be told coming out in the reverse. And who's this? Round and round, flipping around. Okay, interesting. Seeing these two cards tells me that you have been circling around something for quite some time. And at this point, you will accept nothing short of the truth. This has been circling around you for some time now, Gemini. So there's sort of an energy around you where you've been it almost feels like you've been receiving subtle guidance from different times in your life about this issue. Okay, it seems like there's like this truth that you're aware of on a level that you haven't brought into the conscious awareness. It's like you're aware of something subconsciously, but you haven't integrated it into your life yet. You haven't taken that knowledge and used it to do anything that involves change or sort of doing things in a different way. This round and round card is telling me that you are going to continue to see this truth illuminated to you in different ways until you take an action. This round and round card is really a beautiful one that says you're going to look at things. You're going to look at this particular issue from multiple different perspectives until you finally integrate it and go with it and stop resisting it. Seeing to the sea on the bottom of the deck is interesting because that's really a card of not resisting things, like going with the flow. Like if something doesn't resonate for you, don't force it. You can't change the direction of the river, my friends. You have to sort of trust the flow of the river, that it's guiding you somewhere. And I feel like it's guiding you towards a truth that, like I said, that you've been aware of, I think, on a subconscious level for some time, but you haven't integrated it. You haven't acknowledged it fully. And it's wanting to be acknowledged. And so you keep circling around it, looking at it from different perspectives because a lesson has not quite been integrated fully. And there may be cycles that you need to break. There may be patterns that you need to break. There may be some truth that you need to integrate into your life before you end up asking yourself, how did I get back here again? Why am I back here again? And it's almost like you need to accept something so that you don't feel like you keep going backwards into the same truth, into the same lesson. Your job at this point, my dear Gemini, is to understand something on a different level of awareness that allows you to integrate it into changing a behavior, changing a cycle, looking at a pattern from a different perspective to understand the truth of that pattern. Why do you keep coming back to this? Why do I keep coming back here? And to sort of integrate the lesson so that you can move on. Look at that. As I cut the deck, we're seeing the Lovers with the Two of Swords in reverse. Seeing the Two of Swords in reverse with the Lovers tells me that there's some issue here that you haven't integrated. You haven't acknowledged something that's really in alignment with you. I feel like you might be at a place here, Gemini, and that Lovers card is Gemini energy. So you're feeling conflicted about which way to go on something. Should you go the way that feels authentic? Yes. But maybe there's something about this path that freaks you out a little bit, but it's the truth, right? So perhaps you're dealing with a situation right now where the truth is what's needed. And you need to be honest with yourself about why you keep revisiting the same pattern over and over again. Why am I here again is the ultimate question. And let's see what the tarot cards will reveal for you, Gemini. Why is Gemini here again? feel like we have to shuffle for one more card. Thank you. Okay, first card is the Page of Pentacles. Second card is the Devil. Okay, so there you go. There is a pattern of behavior here that you keep receiving signs, messages, knowledge. You keep getting the truth about this pattern that needs to change because it's not serving you to deny the truth about this. Now, Gemini, you fill in the blanks. What is this pattern of behavior that's not serving you? This could ultimately be anything because it's a general reading. When we see the Devil, we're being given this sort of impression that whatever this is something that's not serving you. It could be something that you're obsessed with. It could be an addiction. It could be some pattern of behavior that you have a really hard time breaking. It could be something that you don't even bring into your awareness. I kept saying it's in your subconscious. It's in your subconscious. So now we need to bring it into our conscious awareness, which is why I think we're seeing the Page of Pentacles and the Devil come out together, because there's so many signs and messages that you're getting that say nothing but the truth will be, able to break this pattern. We have to be honest with ourselves about where this pattern of behavior is limiting us or bringing us to a place where we just keep circling around the truth. You just keep circling around the truth. It's time to integrate that. And there is a pattern here that wants to be looked at through that conscious lens. Look at that. Seeing the Queen of Swords in reverse with the Knight of Cups in reverse tells me that right now you're not open to the truth. But the truth is what will set you free from this pattern. And seeing the Queen of Swords in reverse tells me that you've taken a bit of a rigid stance, Gemini, where you're not looking at this objectively. Okay? And you're sort of sitting in an indecisive energy where you may lash out even at any hint or indication because it's triggering. It's super triggering for you to encounter this truth. And so that's where the Knight of Cups comes in reverse, where you're sort of emotionally not willing to become vulnerable enough to acknowledge this truth, integrate it, change the pattern, and trust those messages that you're getting, that it's time to do so. And that's sort of being amplified by this to the Sea card on the bottom, which is guiding you to not resist things. If you encounter the same wave knocking you down to the shore, throwing you back onto the beach, not letting you move into that space of the ocean, there's a reason here. Perhaps you're not meant to go into the ocean that day. Do you know what I mean? Instead of denying that truth and potentially putting yourself at risk by doing something over and over again that keeps beating you down. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here for you. With the tarot cards, we're seeing here this Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which sort of confirms to me that you may not be paying attention to the signs of what this truth is. You may be fighting against it in sort of a futile attempt to be in control of something that you're not in control of, and that is trying to guide you for your highest good. And so it's interesting seeing that page on the bottom of the deck. That says to me that there's a message you're not willing to receive, that you keep experiencing something, you keep getting round and round, circling around something, but there's a part of you that's not willing to look at it critically and with that lens that says, I'm ready to look at this. I'm ready to accept the truth because nothing but the truth is going to serve me here. So very interesting. Let's clarify and see what confirmation we receive. I want to start with that Page of Pentacles. Why is that Page of Pentacles here? Yeah, because you may be overthinking something or afraid of the consequences. You may be anxious about accepting this message of truth. It's putting you in a place where you're like, but what if? But what if? And then you're sort of circling around again, right? Like the consequences are freaking you out a bit. The devil energy is showing us the sun in reverse. So some of this is needing to happen in the shadow. This is shadow work. This is really taking something from the subconscious and bringing it to the light so that you can see it for what it is instead of what you fear it is. Seeing something for what it is instead of what you fear it is. And that, my friends, is very interesting shadow work. Really looking at something eye to eye with your higher self. I'm seeing this Two of Cups coming to clarify the Queen of Swords as you and your higher self seeing something eye to eye, understanding something that may be triggering you, but understanding it, being open to understanding it. Very interesting. That Knight of Cups is guiding you away from these thoughts, these limited beliefs, this denial. See how the Six of Swords is in reverse. That means you're not willing to get into the boat. You're clinging to that shoreline and saying, but. And so it's very interesting, Gemini. It's like surrender is the message here for you. And the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands in reverse, which tells me that this could turn into a tower moment to get your attention, right? To get your attention and convince you that it's time to do things in a different way. It's time to change a pattern. It's time to release a way of doing something that's not totally the truth. You're being guided to see the truth about something instead of what you fear it is. Wow, very interesting reading for you this week, Gemini. What is the final guidance? What is the final guidance for Gemini? Divine timing. So really trusting the timing of this. This is divinely timed to help you explore something that's been hiding in the subconscious, hiding in the shadows, and to do so, we're seeing here on the bottom of the deck this idea of self-acceptance and self-love. This idea of being honest with yourself about yourself and doing the shadow work to see eye to eye with your higher self, to look at something that you've been going round and round with. You've been circling this for some time, Gemini, and it's almost like I can't help but feel like it's just going to keep coming up. It's going to keep coming up because it's time for this to shift. Wow, I'm going to leave it at that for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I really hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care. Sending you so much love.